My name is Tommy Sunshine. I live in the United States of America. I'm on a mission. It's a personal mission. Art in America is only a commodity when it can make money. I don't think that we've done good for the rest of the world. The world's at war. But I think that if the world is going to be messed up, then the least that I can do as an American is to travel around the world and play really great music. I don't have the trappings of having to show up somewhere and everyone's waiting for that one moment where I play my big record. I don't do that. I don't take pointers from anybody. I don't play records I don't want to play. I don't follow trends because it'll get me more gigs. I've never done that. I stayed very firm to the idea that if I did things my own way, which I always thought was the right way, then things would be good. I get to reinvent what the big moment of the night is every single night that I play. And that's really important to me. I really think that what's going on in the rest of the world definitely influences me creatively. You know, when you travel through the world and you get to see things that are so much older and so preserved, it's really striking to think that in other parts of the world from where I'm from, you know, that these things are left alone and they're revered in a way that I just wasn't ever taught to do. I mean, you know, it's very strange because in a weird way I kind of attached myself to artistic things at a very young age, and I never really understood why. But now that I've traveled through all of these different places, it's become quite evident to why. There's a consideration for things like that in Europe. Art is considered here. There's no real interest in you know, nurturing anybody's soul in the pursuit of art. It just doesn't happen. And every time that I leave America and I go through Europe and I go through Asia, Australia, even South America, I see, you know, culture and civilization that's existed for exponentially longer than where I'm from. I mean, you know, my country's been there for a little over 250 years, you know. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And I come to Europe and I see buildings that are from the 10th century, and I just scratch my head. I mean, it's really mind-blowing. There's no real value attached to anything artistic in America unless it generates cash. There's no real interest in you know, nurturing anybody's soul. You're a third-class citizen if you're an artist. When you tell your parents that you want to pursue a career artistically, the knee-jerk response is, but you're never going to make any money, and you're going to be hungry, and you're never going to be happy, and you'll never have the things that you want. And typically, when people are artistic, looked down upon, like oh wow, that person must not have done well in college, so that's why they're an artist. It's really crazy. I mean, nowhere else in the world is it like that. I mean, go back into all of the civilizations that have brought us to this point. There was always art. Art was a huge part of every civilization, going back through Mesopotamia and Egypt and all through the Incas and the Mayans, and it's amazing to think how much the artwork and the aesthetics of their culture were a huge part of what they were and who they were. And unfortunately at this point, America is only recognized via the Starbucks logo and the golden arches. I think that my DJ career, I mentioned earlier about the whole idea of not having that hit that I'm forced to play. So it's really kind of given me a blank slate. I've never, ever had to approach any DJ gig with any reservations. I mean, I play so many different kinds of music. I mean, at this point, I can't even really describe the music that I play anymore. What did I call it? I think I called it Armageddon Fidget Rave, because it's a little bit of the fidget, switch, Jesse Rose, speaker junk, and it's got a lot of rave elements to it. A lot of old school feeling. I'm from Chicago, so it's got the 303 bass lines and the jacking house of Chicago and old Detroit techno. And I always throw Armageddon in there because I always think that it's the fucking end of the world. So at least that's the way that people should react when they hear my music. I would never call myself innovative. There's so many other people that are real innovators, like Underground Resistance. Yeah, there's a pillar of innovation. I would never dare say that what I do is anything close to what they do. But I think that I'm a very good medium. I think that's probably the best way to describe what I am. I channel so many different things when I make music, and I channel so many different things when I play music. I'm the conduit. I let all of the influence of music that I've ever heard in my life come out in my production. And when I DJ, I'm not, laying records one on top of another for 3 minutes at a time, and I'm not doing tricks, and I'm not scratching, and I don't have a visual guy, and I don't do any of these other things. I let the records speak for themselves. I only play music that I think is solid enough to stand on its own. I mean, this isn't an act. This isn't a costume. This is me. This is who I am.